What's up, family? I got a question for you. Did Florida State get screwed by the College Football Playoff Committee? Did Florida State get screwed by the College Football Playoff Committee? Let's talk about it. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, family? This is the Damien Jones podcast. I'm your host, Damien Jones. Hope you're well. Hope you're blessed. Hope you are safe. College football is on fire right now. There's a lot going on, and we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about, did Florida State get screwed by the College Football Playoff Committee? I'm joined by my man, the editor of the Power Players magazine, D. Rice. What's up, brother?
Hey, man, I'm just hanging in here, man, trying to figure it all out myself.
Absolutely. My dear brother is from Houston. He's H-Town born and raised. So we're going to talk about this college football playoff, the Final Four teams. Why didn't Florida State make the Final Four, although they are an undefeated team? Georgia also missed the cut, a team that has won 29 straight games, and they finally lost in the conference championship, and they didn't make it. So, man, this was so tough for the committee to choose between these teams. And like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, they got a tough decision this year. You got Washington is undefeated. You got Michigan undefeated. Mm-hmm. You got Texas one loss and they beat Alabama. You got Alabama who one loss, but they've won 11 straight and they beat the number one team in the country. And you got Florida State that's undefeated, but they also just lost their quarterback here a couple weeks ago, but they're still undefeated. Right. Who do you choose? Is it about the best four teams, or is it about who deserves it? D. Rice, did the committee get it right, in your opinion?
Of course they didn't get it right. I mean, you got to look at it for what it is, man. You know, I know we don't like to talk about politics too much, but politics definitely got to play a role in this here decision. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't want to see Florida State go all the way? I mean, who out there? Florida State has always been exciting for football. Mm-hmm. With the quarterback situation, very unfortunate, you know, for any kid to go down, giving their all out there on the field. But at the same time, this is football. We have to realize it's a full contact sport. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm kind of a pro Texas team, but Florida State deserved to be there. They deserve to be there. They worked hard. They're showing everything in defense. They're showing everything in offense. Special teams, you know, I'm enjoying watching them, but just to be honest with you, I don't know what happened. I don't know how do you not keep the NCAA exciting by not allowing Florida State. This kind of changes it for the fans and the viewers on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, but let's think about this, folks. Right, make sure you subscribe right now to the Damien Jones podcast.
That's right.
I will not, before I give you this heavy content, tell you what we think about this thing. Subscribe right now. We really appreciate you. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow right now. Okay, you can find the Power Players magazine on X. You can find me, Noble Negro, on X as well. And we both have groundbreaking, very diversified thoughts on a plethora of topics. Now, let me ask you this, D. Rice. Here's the dilemma, though, and this is the last year the committee will have this dilemma. Next year is going to be 12 teams going forward, so it shouldn't be that tough to make these decisions, right? If you can't crack 12, then you shouldn't be in the running, right?
That's right.
But so you have 5 recognized Power 5 conferences. You got the SEC, you got the Big 10, you got the ACC, you got the Big 12, and you got the Pac-12, okay? A lot of Pac-12 teams are now folding into the Big 10 going forward. So you'll have 4 going forward. But right now you got 5. And if all 5 of those conference champions have to be considered, right? Especially if they only have one loss or they're undefeated. And that's the case here. So Michigan won the Big 10, okay? undefeated. Washington won the Pac-12 undefeated. Texas won the Big 12 with 1 loss. Alabama won the SEC with 1 loss. Florida State won the ACC with no losses. So you got 4 slots and 5 teams. Somebody's going to get left out either way. If it wasn't Florida State, somebody's going to get left out.
That's right. True.
Right? Now,
True.
here was my thinking. I really, at first I was like, why is Washington in the mix? They ain't playing nobody, right? But then I saw some other information that made me think otherwise. We know why Alabama is here. We know the SEC is bar none the best conference in America. Let's not play about that, because I really honestly could see a place where Georgia was included in the top 4, to be honest with you. Because they still are one of the best 4 teams in the country. But I get it. Michigan. Their schedule is pretty bland. Only the biggest win they got is against Ohio State, and so you can't thumb your nose at that. A big win. Washington, they beat Oregon twice. The biggest wins they got, but Pac-12 had a lot of ranked teams, and so they beat those teams as well. Texas, you beat your Pac-12 folks. You struggled with some people, but your biggest win was Alabama, which looks better now that they won the SEC title. Florida State, in a weak ACC. Clemson is down. I can't name anybody outside of Clemson in the ACC outside of Florida State. They ran the table. The biggest win they had is against LSU beginning of the season, and LSU is now a 9-3 team or 8-4 team, so it doesn't really look that strong. Okay, Georgia has not lost a game in 2 years until now, right? And so very tough decision for me. It really came down to strength of schedule. The strength of schedule. Right? Because it's hard to make this decision. And so let me pull up strength of schedule for you all real quick. Watch this. Stop. Where's my strength of schedule thing? Here it is. All right. I think what's on my screen?
It's a little gray box.
Oh, let me get this off the screen. What happened?
There you go.
All right,
I see it now.
All right, perfect. So how do you think strength of schedule plays into this thing?
I mean, at the end of the day, it does play a role. I kind of look at this whole thing with Jordan Travis going down as a kind of gift and a curse. Maybe it's for the best.
What do you mean?
I mean, with him not being able to perform at a top-notch level, getting injured as a quarterback, been phenomenal, given a phenomenal season that he's played, being electrifying. Maybe it's a great thing that they're not going to be in, and maybe they'll work their way back next year. But with when you're looking at injuries and players and teams and things like the quarterback being your main guy, I mean, if they were to go to the playoffs and he's hurt, who knows how that could go? Who knows if it would be best? Who knows what kids who want to play and want to try to go play being hurt? And I mean, I just look at it, everything when it comes to these type of scenarios and injuries. It was a devastating injury, and I don't know. Aside the politics of right where we are right now in the power rankings, maybe who's there is supposed to be there. I don't know. I just think that FSU is going to show up regardless. They're going to make their way. And once everyone is back healthy again, I think they'll be there again. I think next year will be a different story. But as of now, they've been robbed.
So you think they got robbed?
Yeah, definitely got robbed.
I don't think so. I'll tell you why.
All right.
This is a big boy sport, man. You got to put your big boy pants on. If you want to be one of some of the top 4, man, you better start playing some tougher teams.
That's true.
Because at the end of the day, it comes down to strength of schedule. This is what the committee at the base level looked at. Once I saw this, I said, this is pretty much cut and dry. Okay. So Texas, I don't know if you can see my screen. You see what Texas is number 2 in strength of schedule.
Yeah, they are.
So that puts them in. They played the second, and some rankings put them at 1. They played
Right.
the second hardest schedule in America, and they came out 12-1 as a Big 12 conference champion. They're in, right? And they got a win over Alabama. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where's Alabama on the list? They're number 6
That's right.
at strength of schedule. So
Roll
they're
Tide.
playing. They're playing a tough. They haven't seen looked as dominant as we normally see them to be. But they played the number 6 toughest schedule in the country and came out and still won the SEC title and beat the number 1 team in the country that has been dominating the last 2 years. Right now, who else you got? Washington,
Mm-hmm.
number 8. Okay. Now, and this is where I had to bag off Washington. I was like, man, they ain't played nobody. They played the number 8 toughest schedule in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they're undefeated. So you can't thumb your nose at that, right? So you got Washington, Texas, and Alabama, in my opinion. Based on this, they're a lock. Now you got to choose between Florida State, Michigan, and Georgia for this last spot, in my opinion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't think the Big Ten is that strong, but they beat Ohio State. Now let's go find Michigan, Georgia, and Florida State on this list. Okay, is that list moving? You see it moving?
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. So we're going down. We got all these teams right here. In Oklahoma, LSU, Florida, USC. All right, we're all right. We're down out close to 40, and we ain't seen one of those teams yet.
That's right.
All right, here's Oregon. Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
we got Georgia had played the 45th strongest schedule in the country. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So strength of schedule is not helping them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and they got 1 loss. Then you got Michigan. I told you, Big Ten ain't that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
The 51st strongest schedule in the country, but they're 13-0. And of all the 6 teams considered for the 4 spots, who has the worst strength of schedule in the country? Florida State.
Yeah.
At 55. So if you got the 55th strongest schedule in the country and you're undefeated, but Alabama has 1 loss and they got the 6th strongest, who do you think is the better team?
Go with Bama. Roll
you see
Tide.
What I'm saying?
I got you.
So I think the committee made their decision based on strength of schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in their criteria, they clearly say we also factor in injuries, key injuries of coaches and or players, right? So that's speaking directly to Jordan Travis.
Yeah.
Jordan. So I believe even if Jordan was healthy, they still didn't have a case to be in the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he was hurt, it gave them more of a reason to say, okay, you're hurt. If we put that team out there, it's not going to be a competitive game. Because at the end of the day, D. Rice, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not a business too?
No, it's a business at the end of the day. And when it comes to viewership, not having your quarterback on the field totally healthy to be able to compete, it plays a big part of this whole thing. So they had to make that decision. It just really hurts because this is one of the best seasons I've seen with Florida State.
Sure.
The fans, they ain't gonna forgive, but they're gonna always support. Hopefully he heals up and he's able to compete. Hope he's healthy enough just to be able to compete again, because like I say, he's had such a great season. The team has had a great season, but in reality, any given Sunday, you never know,
It's true. It's true.
So
That's
true. But I mean, I'm happy to see what I've seen this particular year. I haven't looked at the power rankings in the schedules as far as the strength in their schedules, and now that you put it like that, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that had to play a role in the decisions that were being made, and they know what they're doing. So, yeah, we have to go with what we have to go with for the season to be able to continue on with some of the best teams in NCAA football. And I'm not mad with those decisions, but it's just, kind of threw me when I looked on my newspaper this morning, kind of threw me for a loop. That's all. Yeah, threw me for a loop.
I'll tell you this though. It's business, man. Think about this though too. You can never leave the SEC out of the championship. All right, they carry college football from a
True.
viewership standpoint, from a revenue standpoint. We know college football starts in the Southeastern Conference. We know that,
That's true.
and so you can't play with that. So Alabama's there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alabama also has a very loyal fan base that will travel across this country.
You should.
Okay,
That's right. That's right.
so from a
Definitely.
business standpoint, you want to include Alabama in there. All right. Texas has a very loyal football fan base.
All right.
They've been waiting for that next championship since Vince Young.
Mm-hmm.
And now Sark got them back in the hunt. Did you hear when the Big 12 commissioner was giving Sark the trophy the other day and how they were booing that man? Did you see that?
Yes,
that fan base is crazy. That's good for college football. Okay.
Right.
So you got Bama, you got Texas, Michigan. They have a very loyal base as well.
Yeah.
So we need some blue bloods in here, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we would love to have Florida State, but Washington is undefeated.
That's right.
And they got an exciting offense and an exciting quarterback that's going to have people stuck to the screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I think the committee got it right.
They got it right, but it's just a hard right. You know what I mean? Like we have to deal with it, but like I say,
go ahead.
You know, without Travis, the Jordan Travis it's just an unfortunate situation. I would have liked for them to be him to be healthy, but in a reality, in a real world scenario, it is what it is. Maybe they would have made it. Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that Washington may surprise you this year.
I think they're gonna catch somebody they're playing. Who they're playing? They're playing Texas. That's gonna be a hell of a game.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be a sellout game.
Yeah, all of them gonna be a sellout.
I mean, this gonna be a double. I'm talking about people in the parking lot, people down the street. So yeah, that one I'm definitely tuning into that game. I'm excited, and I just want to say to some of my people down there in South Carolina with the Gamecocks, you know what I mean, y'all keep on doing what you're doing, y'all gonna get there, y'all gonna get there. But other than that, I mean, they got it right. They got it right. As much as we hate it that it had to come down to this, but it's just one of those things that we have to realize. That's what makes this college football and college football so exciting. That you never know what you thought you knew in week 3 or 4, down the line ain't always what you're gonna get.
Man, like you said, any given Saturday. Now, tell me this.
Saturday. Yeah.
Give me your prediction. Now, the championship game is in H-Town. It's in your city. It's in NRG this year.
I got you. Come on down.
So you got Michigan is going to play Alabama first round. Texas versus Washington. Who you got in those two games?
Yeah, man. How could I not go with Alabama?
You could not. I mean, Michigan is undefeated. Harbaugh is not no slouch as a coach, and they are fired up against all odds. They got this us against the world mentality this year. I'm
gonna take Michigan.
You sure? Did I just talk you out of your pick?
No, but I mean, it's this Southern thing, but I think Michigan may surprise us this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think they're going to be able to contain Jalen Milroe?
Yeah, I think they'll try, but I mean, it's going to be a back and forth. I would say the game would be 21-17.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. So you're going with Michigan in that game. I'm gonna go with Alabama. Okay. I love Nick Saban, his ability to adjust.
I love him too. But
yeah, every game he's adjust. Like they were down 10?
Yeah.
To Georgia and made the adjustments. I mean, this is his best coaching season in a long time because I would never imagine that Jalen Milroe was their quarterback. I'm like, what are y'all doing? But they figured it out.
All right.
Made the adjustments and they're winning, right? So all right. So I got Alabama in that game. You got Michigan. All right. Texas and Washington. Who you got?
I'm going with Texas on that one.
Okay.
I get ran up out of here if I go.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you on that. I'm going with Texas on that one too. Yeah, I really would have wanted. I really would have been okay with Washington being out of the 4, especially with a conference that's not going to exist next year. So, but whatever.
Right.
All right, so I'm going with Texas. So, who's your championship game? You saying Texas and Michigan in your championship game?
Wow. Yeah.
That's what you said.
Okay. So I'm not gonna go with Texas because I love Texas. I'm gonna go with Michigan.
You
I
saying
hate
Michigan gonna win it all?
I say Michigan will win it all.
Okay, okay, all right. So,
Put the
all
house
right.
on Michigan.
So I got Alabama and Texas. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's gonna be so good for the ratings of TV.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Ooh,
I'm gonna put some Q on the pit.
in Houston at that.
In
Wow.
Houston.
Man, then you got Sark versus Saban, former assistant. Like Saban revived Sark's career. Sark,
Mm-hmm.
Fired from USC for having some alcohol issues.
Yeah.
Revived his career. Look at him now at Texas. Revived the Texas Longhorn program.
That's right.
Bama is who Bama is. The clash of the program titans
Mm-hmm.
in Houston. Folks thought Nick Saban was done and left for dead last year, and he's back in the hunt. And
He's a
so,
beast.
yeah, I'm going with Alabama. I ain't never
Mm-hmm.
betting against Alabama because look
Mm-hmm.
what they did against Auburn the other day. So I'm okay. So I'm picking Alabama to win it all. Nick Saban get his 7th championship at Alabama, his 8th overall, and I think he should retire and hang it up once he
All right.
he should walk off.
Yeah, walk away on top. You
Yeah,
gotta walk away on top.
he should walk away on top. Brother, tell me how folks can find you. Where you at? You online?
I mean,
Twitter, website? What you got?
y'all can hit me up on the Power Players for X, and my deal is going to be Control Alt User Delete on there. They taking my Power
what's your
Players
website?
My website is thepowerplayersmagazine.com. You can go there. You can find podcasts, news, sports, entertainment, you name it, is on there. Funny, comedy.
Did I spell that right on the screen? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
There you go.
That's me.
Go look my brother up on
Appreciate it.
online, thepowerplayersmagazine.com. He's going to join me more often because I love his takes. I love his perspective. And my brother is from H-Town. Okay. Until next time. But tell me down what you think in the comments. Are we right? Did Florida State get robbed? What do you think about our picks for the national championship? Should Florida State stop crying over spilled milk, man up? And look, let me say this last piece. They get to prove themselves. They're playing Georgia in the Orange Bowl. So there you go. If you think your backup is that good, prove yourself. And I think next year, Florida State was building their program. They should have no problem doing the same thing next year and keep building. I think Nick Saban, because of his cachet and how good he's been over the years, he got that grace to get in. Texas is good for business. Michigan has earned the spot. They've been to the championship, 3 years straight now. Washington, I still don't know why they're in, but I get it, right? Strength of schedule. I think that's really what it was about.
All
But
right.
tell us what you think down in the comments, people. Until next time, this is the Damien Jones Podcast.